welcome to Tinker, Tailor, Solder, Fry, here on the mega entertainment network that Loading Ready Run happens to run. We are here at the main palatial Loading Ready Run studios in downtown Victoria. Ian's at home painting, but we're painting separately. These are terrain bits for Warhammer 40k that we need in order to make interesting battlefields for our little mans to shoot each other on.
Or, as my mother called them, my doll houses.
These are much more interesting doll houses than what I had.
Yeah. My mom still collects tiny doll furniture, even though she hasn't had a house in 20 years.
Like real or doll?
Doll.
If you center it on the orange, I can get close-ups of stuff.
Ooh.
Okay, you can look closely at these things. This is the Octarius set that Jacob owns.
Mm-hmm.
I took it apart and assembled it and glued it together and primed it today.
We stole it with consent.
We stole it with consent. He said we can make it any color we want, and then Cameron has his own things.
Yeah, I've got the Morok box set, which is kind of like an Imperial spaceport.
Ooh.
It's got like a landing pad and a radar dish and a comms tower and then a stockade.
So it's going to look excellent when your like Corsairs are like hopping the barricades and
Yeah.
ripping people apart.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's gonna be sweet.
Yeah. That's it. That's
Yeah.
the whole intro. Hi, everybody.
It's good. It's good though, right? Like we're gonna get to see some stuff coming out of the parts.
Yo, yeah,
and
yeah,
some
yeah.
things with the paints and
We've got Beach today on chat. Tech.
Making more trouble.
He's
Beach is on
he's
chat.
checking
Beach
this.
wants us to do something. I'm
I
not
don't
really
know.
sure what is going. There's a thing in.
It's in the way. No, I don't.
we can do streams because
Beach, is there something you're trying to
patreon.com/loadingreadyrun
tell us?
exists.
Beach, use your words. I don't-
Well, that's a callback not everyone will know yet.
No, not yet.
Didn't we all grow up with Looney Tunes?
That's a callback not everyone will know yet. Patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. The place where you can deposit money and then we will use it to do this. Outsource other people's work.
This is your fault. You did this through patreon.com.
/Loading Ready Run.
Not participating in these shenanigans.
I thought you loved Slash.
It is pretty good.
Anyways,
Throwing
so
rocks tonight.
today Heather and I get to fight over who gets to paint the pump jack. The most interesting piece of terrain in the set.
This one.
It's so good looking.
Look at this thing.
Look
And
at it.
like we've got a house full of Albertans tonight, so
Yeah, right?
this is your stock and
home.
trade,
I mean,
really.
you basically are close enough to Alberta.
Yeah, I
Where
mean,
you grew up, like, it's same.
yeah, basically the same thing.
Right.
Yeah, this is the Fort Mac set.
Well, it's got that little ladder.
So you just need to like, there needs to be. I assume there's a pile of Tim Hortons cups and crack pipes.
Oh God, yep.
Wait,
And
are
and
orcs just rig pigs?
possibly, or
Oh my goodness. We've uncovered a new layer of the meta. So many like Coors empties.
yep. Oh God, Coors and Clam. Coors and Clam
Yeah.
is. I dated someone once who spent her summers working in Edmonton. She had to go to Edmonton to take care of an aunt,
Yep.
and she was working in like the restaurants where they make you wear like a black skirt and heels and
Moxies.
yeah, Earls, Moxies, those kind of places,
Yeah.
and all like everyone just wanted a Coors and Clam.
I think Bud bottles those now. They're called chiladas, aren't they?
Oh, that sounds worse.
Yeah. I'm sure it's a refreshing treat.
All right. I'm going to add brown to my plate and start painting. Heather can take the pump jack.
Yay.
It was an easy fight.
We don't fight that much. We're very good friends.
Very good friends who definitely don't fight much at all.
Nope.
Not even a little bit.
So we were talking about making some of this like orange and yellow and
I'm mostly just trying to get brown inside.
ah.
I think they decorate with mud, right? They're fungus people.
I mean, decorate and or just like walk over things with mud.
Yeah,
might
they
be
get their muddy
more-
shoe prints all up the
Might
walls.
be more accurate.
I mean, orcs also have like beliefs about what colors do.
Do they?
Blue is a lucky color.
Okay, so we're gonna need a blue door.
Red,
yeah, we're gonna need
red
some
goes
blue.
faster, so their vehicles tend to be
Right,
red.
I do remember
Yellow is a
that.
color they associate with wealth.
Okay.
Well, then I'm definitely gonna want to make something blue at some point.
Right. So I think Cameron has primer if you see any empty spots that I missed. 'cause
Although
I was
I
in a hurry.
prime white.
It's still a
so-
primer.
Yeah.
I mean, the purpose of primer is just so that other paint will stick to it, right?
Yes.
It does affect how the
Yeah.
top coat comes through, so you can do lots of fun lighting effects.
Yeah. Paint is, despite its best efforts, frequently translucent to some degree. So the color primer you use will have an effect if you're keeping your paints thin.
Especially if it's thin. And
What's,
you do multiple
uh,
coats.
What color is slow? If red is fast, what color is slow?
People in chat are pointing out that purple and pink are considered sneaky because you've never seen an orc in purple or pink.
Right? Yes,
Right.
I do
Yeah.
remember hearing about that.
So that might be slow colors. I also know orcs are fond of checkerboard patterns. That shows up a lot on their stuff. But that might also be because their armor tends to have a lot of big, like, broad, flat plates.
Okay.
And checkerboard patterns can visually break that up a little bit.
So keep in mind, we can do checkers on some plates.
I mean, I figure since Corey and I are kind of both working on Jacob stuff, we'd probably coordinate a little.
Just a tiny bit. I am genuinely just smushing brown into the crevasses to get some variation inside. When I paint at home, I use our big LED panels and pop them behind me so I can see.
Yep.
But they give off a lot of heat, so I haven't been doing that so much lately.
I honestly stopped streaming with my LED panel lights on from the front because I just decided it wasn't worth it.
I live
No
in
one
a,
needs to see my face.
I live in a hole in the ground, which is temperate, but also full of bugs. So it's a trade-off.
Oh, believe me, the above ground is also full of bugs. Frequent waspy visitors coming in through our open doors.
Don't you also get like squirrel visits?
Not lately. Haven't seen our squirrel friends in a few months. A little worried, TBH.
Oh.
But we get hummingbirds, which is very
Oh,
fun
yeah.
and cute. And there's lots of like little chickadees. Oh my god, they're the tiniest chickadees. I didn't know wrens were so small, first of all. But then the
Yeah, I
little
thought
tiny
wren-
chickadees.
I thought wrens were kind of robin size.
No! The tiny little nuthatch peepers.
I got to feed a finch by hand.
Were you at like a Starbucks or something?
I was outside of a cafe downtown, and I assume they just hang out
They
there.
do.
Because I tried to feed it at first a blueberry from my Danish,
Right.
and it like pecked at it and was like, no,
Bread, please.
bread.
Yeah,
Fru-
no.
yeah,
it knows,
come on.
It knows the truth.
Yeah,
Blueberries are garbage.
yeah. Fruit? Are you kidding me? And then went off and ate a French fry out of a garbage can.
Yeah,
Right?
as it should.
I'm like, isn't that bad for you? It's like, and the bird very
I'm
correctly
trying to put on pounds here.
pointed out, well, it's bad for you too.
Ah.
What are you trying to say here? None of this actually happened. I mean, no, the feeding part happened. And then it ate a piece of pastry from my hand, and I felt like a Disney princess for about 6 minutes until I saw that this was just their racket.
Yeah, it really is. They like to hang out.
But what is 6 minutes?
Yeah.
It's been really fun lately with the crows because the juveniles just
Fledged.
pretty much like a few weeks ago, but they're still kind of dumb and can't feed themselves very well.
Mm-hmm.
So we like to give crows peanuts, but the babies don't know how to open them yet.
Oh.
So they just kind of like poke at them and then give up and then open their mouth and scream at their parent.
Mm-hmm.
Feed me. Ah, ah. That's what they sound like. It's my crow impression. Ah.
They're trying. I mean, they're not, but they're really not.
They're really not.
Yeah, they're still at the stage where you needed your parents to cut your beanie weenies for you.
Mm-hmm. My hot dogs must be sliced like my sandwiches. My PB and honey sandwiches.
In triangles?
Yes, in triangles.
With
That
or
is the
without
optimal
crusts?
way to. I like crusts.
I also liked crusts. I was one of the weird kids who liked crusts.
All right.
How do
so
you
we
cut a
weren't-
cylinder into a triangle?
We would not have been a friend in school. I got it.
What?
You said your hot dogs had to be cut the same way as your sandwiches.
Sandwiches.
Yeah, and I'm like, in triangles. And I'm like,
Yeah.
how do you
With
cut
bread.
a cylinder into a triangle?
Have you not done conic sections, Beej?
It's been a hot minute since I was in high school.
Go back to school, weirdo.
Don't go to a high school. They will arrest you.
That's good advice. Just to anybody out there who's watching this, regardless of age, don't go to high school, you'll get arrested.
I didn't say that. I said Beach specifically shouldn't go to high school. They will arrest him.
Anyway, if for some reason you how are we doing on retaining those numbers you were very excited about, Beach?
398!
That's almost half.
Have the new viewers left yet?
Oh, yeah. Surely.
It's fine. If they stayed. It's fine if they left. They have their own lives. I don't know what they're like.
Yeah, we're not cops. We can't tell you what to do.
Except don't go to a high school, you get arrested.
Yeah.
I
Because we're
mean,
cops.
technically, you could go to the high school. You just get arrested. You know, be aware of your consequences, I guess.
Heather,
Yes.
can I ask you to paint more on camera somehow?
How about you, Beej,
Yeah.
move the cameras?
I can't move the overhead camera.
The other ones.
Can move all the. Hey, I have this shot. It's good.
Wow.
It's
I like this shot.
It's not bad.
I like this shot.
Okay.
This shot is very good for me.
Next 10 minutes, I'm putting a timer up. 10 minutes, it's just this shot.
All right. Hey, who let Beej do tech?
This is such a good shot.
We did.
Hey Siri, 10-minute timer.
Don't forget Alexa's 10-minute timer.
10 minutes, counting down.
How many other things can we voice activate that are other people's appliances
Let's see.
for the stream?
Xbox eject. Okay, Google, start a timer for 10 minutes.
PlayStation,
5.
log me out.
Alexa, tell me about Rule 34.
Hey Siri, beatbox.
Okay, Google, Sonic inflation.
At one point,
We're only hurting ourselves.
one of us is going to have to be a grown-up.
Not it.
Dang it.
Just gets up and leaves.
I like not okay, Google.
Hey, Alexa,
Brown
delete all my calendars.
Oh no. Hey Chad, don't forget to take your pills.
Alexa, unsubscribe from this Twitch channel.
But what about the numbers, Beej?
I get to watch them plummet in real time.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've actually found countdown timers are much more interesting than watching numbers go up.
Down versus up.
Yeah,
But numbers go up.
but numbers going down and reaching absolute zero.
But
She's a scientist, you see.
Yes, I am the science president, always have been. Just because I don't talk about it very often doesn't mean that's not true still.
I'm just really excited for the weekend where I get to see numbers go down on a thermometer.
that would be lovely.
Oh, God, yes. I'd love to see an RPG where the whole point of the characters going and punching God is because he created the sun, as opposed to any other
Right.
weird drama.
God,
Yeah.
I was thinking about that today. I was like, wow, sure, we owe the sun everything for life on Earth, but could it stop
But like,
for like?
it doesn't have to be so hot on itself.
Why
It's
is the
too
sun
much.
poisonous to us?
It's too much.
I was kind of trying to talk my dad into putting solar panels on their house.
And then what happened?
It didn't?
It kind of felt like you might not be able to pay these off for like another 10 years. And I realized they're 70.
It works.
Yeah. I was like, oh shit, you won't care. None of this matters to you. He was into the idea, but it was like, yeah, but it's not gonna. I think he just wanted a project.
Okay, yeah.
Lovely, lovely. Very brown. Yes. Good.
It's not just the panels; it's all the other stuff we'd have to install in order for him to make it an operational thing. You have to have inverters and stuff, and
Not like
be able to provide whole home power, and then like
Batteries, I
yeah,
assume.
just so you just in case you need power during the night and you didn't have enough of it during the day, and he's like, I'm just going to install that propane heater in the garage under the stairwell. I'm like, great, please do all of those things. That sounds incredibly safe. I mean, we talked about it for a while, and then I was convinced it was safe. But at the beginning, I was
okay.
kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll just put that propane stove under the stairwell. Is that okay? Can you do that? And he's like, yeah, I went over this with everybody, and it's, permits and everything. I'm like, okay,
You'd be
great.
surprised what you can do,
Yeah. It's true.
and then nothing matters anymore.
He doesn't plan on running that stove very long. I shouldn't be keeping the conversation going here.
Well, I wouldn't want to interrupt you.
I don't.
You know.
I don't mind being the one that's contributing the most to what's going on. I'm just afraid I'm going to say something I'll regret.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds about right. To anybody who's a human being who talks.
I mean, we can go back to the sonic inflation porn if you want.
Didn't say pornography, did I? I just said in OK Google,
Wait.
search for and engage Sonic Inflation playlist.
No,
YouTube.com/TuxBeach.
no. No, we don't need to know about what Sonic the Hedgehog is doing with his inflation.
Yeah.
I think we've all heard enough about inflation this month.
I did a story on it for Checkpoint.
What about sonic inflation?
No.
Definitely about Sonic's feet.
No, that was Kirby's feet.
No, there was a Sonic feet story in that same one too.
The same one?
Yeah.
Great. Cool.
Hey, Cameron. How you doing?
I was having a good day.
We convinced you this would be a fun time.
It's only taken me a couple years, but I've really changed Checkpoint.
Yeah, it used to be called ENN. And then Beej showed up. Couldn't have that anymore.
They definitely wouldn't want to work with us at this point. That's always been
I'm
the problem.
surprised Paul still wants to work with him sometimes, since he's the one who has to source all these fetish photos.
he had said to me, he's like, now when you typed in "get me pictures of Kirby's feet," I had thought to myself, Beej, normally you find the pictures for me because you want always it's going to be very difficult for me to find this picture of Kirby's feet. Oh, there are thousands. Okay.
You know, I've seen comments about Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry that say it's a lovely time to just like fall asleep, chill, hang out while like
So we're
your
breaking
dad
those
talks to you.
expectations, huh?
Yeah, it's like ASMR for some people, but not this one. This is just gonna be a whammy in the playlist for them.
You're gonna fall asleep to this.
Have
Have some very
dreams.
interesting dreams. None
we're
of
gonna-
which we will apologize for, because it's gonna be your own brain's fault to some degree.
This one is just going to show up like a landmine in people's YouTube playlists.
Oh, can we do that with other shows?
I mean, I do it with Rhythm Cafe all the time. Why aren't you doing it with Talking Simulator?
I mean, good question.
Has it been 10 minutes yet, Beej?
Oh, I'll let you know when it's been 10 minutes.
Okay, good. Just trying to keep you honest.
Mm-hmm. Nope, now I'm just singing Landslide in my head over and over now.
Well, as long as you're keeping yourself entertained.
I'm singing Three Little Birds.
Touch away. But it's like the Tiny Tim version of Three Little Birds.
Well, it's being played at 2 times speed.
Oh,
Well, I mean, it's because
Like a
you're listening
Eurobeat.
to YouTube.
Yeah, yeah.
Reminder, you can play us at 2 times speed on YouTube or at 0.5.
but not on Twitch.
Yep.
Now you guys
You're
suffer doing this
ours.
in real time.
Yeah, if you figure out how to play this live stream at 2 extreme or speed.
Uh-huh.
Hey, let's try that again. If you figure out how to stream this live stream at 2x speed, share your secrets.
No, copyright them first.
And then don't tell Beach.
Definitely don't tell Beach, but tell me.
Yeah, a lot of us are really interested in the information, but
But don't tell Beach.
don't tell Beach.
And it would be responsible with it, I'm sure.
I mean, as many plans as I do have, it takes me a very long time to get to any of them. So I'm probably fairly safe. But tell the damn not.
Fire!
You know.
You got plans for next Heather Day?
Haven't had Heather Day in a while. Like a real Heather Day.
That's the problem with constantly working. Trying to find space to not do work within.
Well,
Y'all ever run into that, chat?
that's my gremlin hole space. Though sometimes I let work come in there because it's comfy.
No, gotta keep them separate. Like Erlenmeyer flasks.
Oh, what I do is I change out the tablecloth so I understand when the work times are and when the non-work times are. Has it been 10 minutes?
Sure has.
But he said he'd tell us.
Yeah, instead he just pushed his watch into the microphone.
Mm.
Hope that was good for you, chat.
Now I'm going to play with the walkie-talkie.
Oh. Beach is having so much fun. It's a good thing, Beach.
Yeah, she's complimenting you.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes, this is browning up nicely.
What is that?
I've seen this drink in bars.
What is that you're doing there, Cameron?
Hmm?
What is that you're doing?
Oh, I am just applying a little bit of plastic cement to the seams that will be drawn into them by capillary action. And that, because plastic cement actually melts and then fuses plastic, what it will do is will create an invisible seam line after being sanded and cleaned.
Yeah. Which I did not do on the pieces that I'm working on because I was in a hurry.
Fair.
I did very little cleanup on these.
Yeah, they're orcs. They're not gonna do this.
Oi!
Shh! Don't tell Stev.
Orchimedes worked very hard on these.
Oh.
Circles.
Yes. Well, I'm starting off just to take them, or to clean up the sinker points from the sprue. I use 400 and then move on to 800, I think. But you can get like all the way down to basically emery board, and that will.
I have one if you don't.
Oh, thank you. Possibly, because I think since these are imperial terrain pieces that I'm working on, I assume most of them are made out of concrete and are basically indestructible. You know, if you've ever looked at brutalist architecture and thought, kind of flimsy.
They must have great thermal mass, though, eh?
Oh yeah,
They're probably passively cooled.
Yeah. I mean, they were designed on Earth 10,000 or 20,000 years ago and can be plunked down in literally any environment. Got a desert? Yeah, they'll be really hot there. But you can probably build them. So I'm working on, this is the communications tower, or the radio antenna, basically. It's going to have,
Oh, it's tall.
yeah. So, you know, it has several special rules for being able to climb up it,
Okay.
and then has an antenna, but it will have it has ladders along it, so it's easier to climb,
Cool.
and it will look kind of like that when it's done.
Yeah.
Right? It will have a ladder along that surface.
I'm going to turn the fan on.
Like AC?
Yes.
Oh.
Aren't we fancy?
Yeah. Get to sweat a little less today.
Yeah, I've discovered that when I wear a white linen shirt, people get more enthusiastic about doing things that make me less sweaty.
I don't want to pass out from all the fumes.
What fumes?
Oh no.
Beej, maybe you should cap the Sharpies.
Can you not smell all that? Surely you can. You're right near it. You can smell all of it.
What, the sweetness?
No, the
No, not really.
The VOCs. Oh God.
From the adhesive?
Yes. You guys can't smell that.
I'm
It's capped.
wind. That's, yeah, they used very little.
Oh, okay. I have a special nose.
And some special eyes. So watch yourself.
It's part of how bad my vision is my other senses are enhanced.
Mmm.
Actually, it's been a super pain at home because we did a thing to some shelves and apparently he can still smell it.
You act like I'm lying about it.
No, it's just inconvenient that you can smell things. Have you considered? You know what worked for me?
What worked for
is doing a lot of soldering in high school and keeping my head directly over the fumes and, just burning out my entire sinus system.
I see.
Oh.
That worked real good for a number of years. Definitely no lingering issues whatsoever from the caustic fumes.
I just did a chemistry degree. Although, to be fair, if you can smell anything in a chem lab, you're not doing it right.
Unless you're playing with esters.
Yeah. But even then, you shouldn't be smelling anything if your fume hoods are working. Joking aside.
Yeah.
Walk into a chem lab. Why does it smell like ether in here? Pull the fire alarm. Everyone runs.
Have you been in a situation where that's literally happened like that? Where somebody
No, it was just the subject of a safety, an infamous safety video we were shown in second year, I think. There was just, a lab where they were doing something but hadn't noticed that the fume hoods were having maintenance done on them that day, so they weren't working. And in the safety video, somebody who wasn't working in the lab all day walks in and just says, "Why does it smell like ether in here?" And then somebody just yells, "Ether!" And then, it cuts to black, there's the sound of an explosion, and then it cuts to the main character who was working in that lab's mother's kitchen, and the phone is ringing, and it does this slow zoom in on a pan of sizzling, meat on the stove.
Okay.
Ether.
I've never
Hardly know her.
I've never seen the Ontario food safety or OSHA type safety, the workplace safety videos, but apparently the Government of Ontario workplace safety videos are infamous for being incredibly graphic.
Yeah, I think I've seen one of them where somebody falls off a ladder into a jewelry case.
Do not
Yeah, no, I know which ones you're talking about.
Yeah, I know people who watch those for fun, and I'm not one of those people.
Yeah, I prefer off-screen violence.
I'm okay with fake video violence. I appreciate a special effects team, but anything that's supposed to represent actual real damage just hits me really hard. But I watch a lot of violent movies. Made it through Detain with only one break. Only had to take one break there, and 2 for Antichrist, but definitely needed a lay down for a while for that one.
As I get older, I realize that the amount of violence I can process on a movie has gone down significantly. What did we watch recently? Cripes, I can't remember.
Did we? Was it actually one of us together? Because
Yeah.
you watch a lot of action movies that I won't stick around for.
Yeah, there was something though I thought that we watched that I was like, oh, I can't open my eyes for this, and you were the same way, and we just kind of let it happen.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. We watched Seeing Red, that super violent movie.
Yep. A lot of people died.
The Bob's Burgers movie.
Bob's Burgers movie, totally violent.
The CG in that I've heard about.
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
It might have been that where I had a thing where I was like, oh, I can't.
Was it? For me, it was the paper cut. That one was.
That's when I couldn't. I
Oh,
saw
I
it coming, and I was like,
actually
nope.
had no problems watching
Yeah,
paper cut.
they telegraphed it, and they were like, "This is what we're gonna do. Here's the countdown. We're doing it." And I'm like, "Nope."
Yeah, I had no issues with that part because to me it's just like, oh well, I'm not seeing a thing. Like I'm seeing a person react.
Yeah. Whereas hot dogs, I was completely fine with.
Loved the hot dogs.
Yeah, minor spoilers there. I don't
Yeah,
talk about hot
I don't
dogs.
usually talk about the hot dogs, but I love the hot dogs.
They were fine until the one part for me, but again, spoilers, not really talking about that.
I've had a conversation with my video watching friends from a podcast about, you know, like what levels of horror and stuff we should discuss, because it's like, well, like Takeshi Miike, like we're gonna watch Ichi the Killer, no, and I want to run in there and be like, I just watched a Takeshi Miike movie, Yokai Wars. Which was actually pretty cute.
See, I love a good cute movie.
But I'm not planning to ever watch Audition. Don't like the needle thing very much. I don't have a problem with needles, but that specific movie.
What I really can't stand is the movie thing that happens now where they're like, we're doing surgery. Let's do a close-up of this surgery of this person getting stitched back together. And like, why? You can tell me you're stitching them back together. You don't need to show me the wound and the needles going into the skin and the fake jelly thing that you've made to represent this person's skin. They did a lot in like Doctor Strange. Doctor.
Oh, yeah, no, I had to leave the theater for Doctor Strange. That was a bad time for me. For the first one.
Yeah.
I didn't see the multiverse in
Oh,
theater.
it's very good.
I've seen it. I liked it. It was okay.
I remember having to leave the theater with the Star Trek movie that had Picard having the Borg thing going on because of what was going on with his eyes
Ew.
in the mirror.
First Contact.
Sure, I don't remember the names of these movies.
Could have been the one with the Borg in it. You're right, Beach.
Just trying to jog her memory. That's all.
You know that I don't make.
Yeah,
make
you
an
don't
effort.
remember. You don't remember titles of things, and Ian doesn't remember the names of people.
Yeah,
He remembers lots of names.
just not the ones that he's talking about. Look, I make up better names for most things.
What do you call First Contact?
Gross eye thing.
Ooh. And I guess Insurrection is gross face thing.
Oh, don't forget
Or
Wales.
pimples. That's
Wales is fun.
Wales is a good movie. It's probably my favorite Star Trek movie.
Look, they're descriptive. Beach mostly knows what I'm talking about when I say them. That's all I
Star
need.
Trek 4. Whales.
Not just whales. You'd be lucky if you got the Star Trek part.
I want to go see the whale movie.
You know, and then there's that one with the fake Klingon blood that looks like plasticine floating through the spaceship.
Star Trek 6.
See? My method is infallible.
Infallible indeed.
Is it the bismuth in bismuth salicylate? Does that do anything to help?
I have no idea.
Yeah, because I assume it's the other half of that compound because of this whole relationship to like salicylic acid and all that. That's the thing that actually.
I
helps
assume
you.
it's part of a buffering solution, but
Yeah.
why bismuth? I don't know. Maybe
Someone wanted to say, give him the bismuth.
I'm so happy you're here, Corey.
Maybe pharmacist judges in chat and can shed a little light on that. Or do we have doctors or pharmacists in chat right now that want to volunteer that information and
Or
be
fill a
bothered?
prescription.
Yeah, bothered for the rest of their life by other people. Be like, this person's medical knowledge. Now I don't need an HMO.
That's how it works.
I have one vote for the bismuth is what helps you.
Okay. Yeah, let's poll chat.
Yeah.
Someone make a poll. Does the bismuth help you? I don't know what other options there should be.
Just yes, no, absolutely.
And mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise. Yeah, I think they typically do 4.
All right, I am totally going to get a. My business card's going to say bismuth manager.
that would imply that you're not stomach turning.
Got him.
Oh, yo, that's so cool. They form bismuth salts in your gastrointestinal tract,
Oh.
and those have bactericidal antimicrobial activity. Oh, that's so awesome! Thank you.
Oh, cool. Cool.
Our Ard Collider.
A mysterious person.
Who knows if I can trust them or not?
I don't know.
I'll have to just go look at the National Institute for Health website that they linked.
Maybe. I don't know. Sounds like a sketchy name. I think they used to have a different name, but they changed it.
Ah.
Sounds like a Banovator. No, mods, they're not a Banovator. Oh God.
Ian, would you accept Bismuth Mazinger? Could I do that for my card instead?
I want to be like an azimuth something if you get to be a bismuth something. Like a stream azimuth.
Oh, we should just watch Land of the Lusters again.
Oh.
Are they making more of that?
Manga? Yes.
No, the thing I actually
We
want
don't
to
know
watch.
yet.
Yeah. Anime maybe not for a while.
I don't want to read manga.
She had to go on break for the better part of a year with the manga. And holy shit, the manga's weird.
Yeah,
I've been thinking about reading it.
Yeah. You'd like it, Cam.
What is it?
It's a story about a bunch of androgynous beings that are all based on gem forms, and they all
Oh,
have,
right. Yes, you've told me about this.
they all have
Yeah.
a corresponding hardness of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And the people from the moon come down and try to steal them back to the moon.
Gotcha.
And there's many twists and turns. It's,
I like twists and turns.
it's the Japanese name is Hoseki no Kuni. It is Land of the Lustrous in English.
Okay.
The anime is like this CG thing that really works for it because nobody's actually human.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really turned me off of it when it came out, but now I'm like, people have been still saying a lot of good stuff, so maybe I'll read the manga.
I like to have something on that I don't have to read. I already have a bunch of things to read.
And that's why you should be excited for the anime version of Dead Dead Demons Day Destruction.
It's a very good title.
It's gonna be awesome.
It's a very good title.
It's about a group of high school girls and they're gremlins. And
Wait,
there's
they're-
aliens.
they
They're
are gremlins?
Pretty much.
Okay, yeah, I'm on
Yeah.
board with this.
It's just like small town alien investigation thing.
Yeah, okay. That hits most of my anime tropes.
And then there's like interstitial character, sort of like the Helvetica Standard stuff.
Okay.
But his name is soya bean, but he's just a big mushroom. And it kind of ties into the stuff that actually happens in the series, where it's just like imagining someone with like a helicopter head thing, like a Go-Go Gadget style nonsense. And then they actually bring it into the series as like a real way someone actually moves around. With the stupid helicopter pack.
Yeah, I think I could get into that. I've been making Beach watch Tokyo Mew Mew New,
Oh,
and I'm slightly mad that they added the word new to the title, but they put it in a good spot, so I'm also really happy about it.
for a second I looked at your glass and I was like, oh no, Heather's put paint in her orange juice. Even though I knew you already did the thing about what color it was.
It very much looks like something I've seen at a bar.
How expensive is your cocktail?
It looks like Tang with milk.
Okay, so it may have been something I've seen on Star Trek.
We call this Milk Tang. Only the greatest warriors drink it.
I literally watched Guinan mix two liquids together and act like she was making this new drink, and it looked like orange juice and some sort of the same color of blue that you see like barber's combs in.
She must troll the everyone at 10 Forward.
I would hope so.
Like, only so that she can have fun. Like, not enough that they won't trust her.
Oh no. But she's definitely doing something.
Well, so she's Picard's bestie. What are they going to do? Fire her?
Unlikely.
Go ahead and make me something special. All right. Well, we just cleaned out the vacuum cleaner for Worf's apartment, and here's something from the holodeck filters, I guess.
Whatever it is, it won't solidify.
So it's technically a liquid.
It's a lot of hair. Probably.
Guinan, did you just blend a tribble?
Well, we had some
Yes.
left over.
Looks you dead in the eye and says, yes.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Then you try it, and then like it changes your life, and you finally realize like what kind of advice she's been trying to give you this entire time.
It weirdly tastes like Pocari sweat. And you're like,
Sorry, did you say Picardi sweat?
Pocari sweat. You're like,
Sorry, did you say
"That's-
Picardi sweat?
Picardi sweat.
Is that how they're getting all the sweat from those poor Pocaris? Is there just tribbles?
Paige, you cannot tell me
He's
in this year of
blanking
our
you.
Lord 2022 that Picaris are an animal.
Did you want to hear about it like last year instead? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you go back and get that done?
1997 was when it was established for me that the Pocaris are tiny animals kept in cages,
Okay,
and their
okay,
sweat
okay.
is what they collect to
You
put into
can't
the.
you can't just say that. Well, I learned this back in time, and therefore now I've established back in time. We need you to literally travel back in time
Yeah,
and
Beach.
tell Corey these things.
Thank you.
I will get in my super time machine, I guess.
Good.
I mean, a regular time machine would do you.
Let him take the super time machine. It's faster. The regular one only goes 1 second per second.
See, Bitecaster says even sonic showers need to take the stuff they took off your skin somewhere, right? And I'm like, I just assume it gets oxidized.
I would assume it goes into the or into the replicator block.
Yeah. Raw matter, you say. Carbon.
So you aren't using any of these oils or aminos anymore? All right.
Now I'm imagining that, like, I know the replicators don't work this way, but imagine people go get a shower and then there's a special on for like hot dogs.
I mean, they talk about that in Discovery. In Star Trek Discovery, they're like, there's negotiation going on between a Starfleet admiral and somebody else, the Orion Syndicate,
Okay.
and they're eating apples, and he's like, "This is reclaimed waste, right? Just so you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sometimes you gotta eat reclaimed waste."
I assume that if you're going to have replicating technology, you're going to have a replicator in the shower so that you can have shower beers.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know you were an advocate for shower beers because they're great.
I mean, it's not my thing. I would probably go with something else equally cold. And,
Like a
and
shower
good.
apple juice or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, something like that, because beer's not my jam. But yeah,
Showerade.
I'm surprised there isn't a brewery somewhere that's like precisely calibrated a shower beer.
God, what would the perfect? Cause like, would it be like a lager,
It would be something like very light, I feel.
like a hef?
Yeah, ooh, yeah, a hef or, like nothing heavier than a session.
Ooh, shower sessions.
Oh, hell yeah, actually. Ooh, a Kolsch? Or a Radler, maybe?
Oh, shower
pill?
rattler.
Maybe a pill.
Man, I don't know about pill.
Ooh, someone in chat is suggesting marble pop.
What is that?
A Ramune?
Oh, yeah, you know what? A
Oh.
Rumene.
But you'd have to keep it like, you have to get it cold.
Yeah.
It's a replicator. It comes out cold.
Yeah, but then you have to put it on the back of the toilet tank so that when you're in the shower.
What?
No, because if you bring it to the shower with you, it's going to heat up.
Okay, wait. Is this a tub shower or like a little stall shower?
Either or, like whatever you can reach your hand out to and put it outside the
Because
shower.
the shower beer stays in the shower with you.
But it's going to warm up over time. Is it not?
Like it's not directly in the water.
No, but the process of being among all the steam and the hot water while you're showering.
Well, I mean, you're in there for like 15 minutes.
It's a replicator. You just keep telling it to make you a new one cold.
Just dump the other one on the floor.
Give me beam a mouthful of beer into my mouth. Bwong.
Why is anyone even chewing in Star Trek, really?
I don't understand why this is so hard for you.
Oh yeah, the replicator could just make pre-chewed food for you.
Yes.
Just beam it directly into your bloodstream and then beam it out again.
I mean, that's also an option.
Here I am metabolizing things like a sucker.
No, I just want them to have like astronaut food tubes. Like just it's paste but flavored.
So, because we've never seen a toilet on the Enterprise, is that because they just shit in their pants like a wizard?
No, it's because you don't film in bathrooms, you sicko.
They're just all space wizards. They're just constantly beaming it away.
Somehow I feel that this is my fault.
I assume that like they don't do dialysis anymore as a thing. So
They literally, Bones literally says dialysis.
yeah,
What is this, Dark Ages?
yeah. He said that in the Whales movie.
Whales.
And what do we call the one when is it just Star Trek V, Spock's brother?
We do
He's
not
got a brother?
He's got a half-brother, Cybok,
Yeah.
who has been teased in Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
God, that one's good.
Oh, it was so great when that happened. I was like, no shit, are they really gonna? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah! They give a shit!
And Cybok apparently pulls.
Yeah. Which is fun, because then if you think of Star Trek V, because that's where Cybok's story ends, it's like, he's this gregarious, happy, like, Dom DeLuise of a man, right? Like,
Yeah.
he's like, ah, brother! And he's just so happy, and I'm like, it's like something about you changed since you were like an intergalactic terrorist. You kind of got like, now I'm getting my what I want, and it's like, yeah, okay, you really mellowed.
I did like the slow reveal of the Vulcan prison colony, though.
Yeah.
Because, they start on like this tracking shot from below of this like Vulcan complex suspended above a volcano, and it's all like lit by magma, and it looks very infernal. And they slowly move up and over the top of it, and when you crest the top of it, it's all like parks and gardens and like Vulcans in I guess kind of restorative justice situations, like painting and meditating.
Yeah, trying to get that logic shit back together again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're like, how are we going to model this? It's like, we'll go to Norway, see what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Strange New Worlds has been really good.
I like
It's
it.
nice to see like O'Hara get like some good story beats, and
I'm also happy that they let the actors clearly have a lot of fun with the roles.
Yeah.
the fantasy story
Yeah.
was
Like where
pretty
they
good.
all got to be enormous dorks
Yep.
for entirely different reasons for an episode.
I have to step away for a moment. I'll be right back.
I mean, it's been an hour. We could probably just take a break.
Let's do that then. All right, let's
Yeah.
just quickly go to commercial, and we'll see you in a few minutes.
Oh, I didn't see you there. Welcome back to Tinker, Tailor, Soldier, Fry. Here at the moon base, we are painting terrain for Warhammer 40,000.
For use on our AF 1000 streams.
Thanks, me. How are you all doing tonight?
Ah, someday. One day we'll be able to do that. Or Beachlander, right? Beach, do you know how to do the echo effect on the?
Yes.
Did they teach you how to do the voice effects?
Yeah, but I have to familiarize myself. Hang on.
It's just gonna start twiddling knobs.
Where was it? Oh, wait. Oh, it's not that button.
Oh.
Not gonna touch that button ever again.
You know, it's okay if you don't want to touch any of the buttons.
What did that button do?
Are we still live?
We're still live.
Are we still alive?
Well, it's debatable, probably.
Let's hit this button called Neutron Purge.
Finally.
No, I can't make any of that work. Nope. Sorry, we're not gonna do that.
Okay.
Ever since I watched the Philadelphia experiment, I've wanted to be a shadow on a wall.
Did that movie actually, was that any good? I watched that a lot when I was like 9.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no way of knowing.
My mom rented the Philadelphia Experiment 2 for us to watch.
Mm-hmm.
We got 3 minutes into it, and then we went and we did something else.
Huh.
It wasn't like for her to watch. It was for like us kids to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I don't know what it was about, and we just kind of went, I don't know what's going on, and I don't get any of this, and we just kind of walked away.
Oh,
I think
your poor
even-
mother.
I think we just left it playing, and we were like, whatever. I don't know why it needed a sequel.
I mean, I say that about a lot of movies.
There's a lot of movies that didn't need a sequel, like
Lord of the Rings.
Emperor's New Groove,
No, that.
Hey!
I would have.
Tarzan.
Kronk's New Groove was fine.
Kronk's New Groove was an assembly of TV episodes that didn't get put on TV.
Well, that's one
That's
man's
not
opinion.
true.
It's literally the Wikipedia article about Kronk's
Shut
New
up.
Groove.
You can't just cite Wikipedia. Where's your secondary source?
Considering the number of people who can't go onto Wikipedia to adjust their own like birthplace or date of birth because citation needed, like I don't know how much I trust everything, every single little thing.
I mean, you could just make up fake languages on Wikipedia.
Wow, or
I mean,
entire
sure.
fake Kongs or Street
Yes.
Sharks.
Yes, yes, yes. We've all read Tlon Uqbar Orbis. God, well, no, the Borges short story. Tlon Uqbar Orbis Tertius. Which is about basically a fake Wikipedia that creates its own universe. Or perfectly
Cool.
describes a fake universe.
I'm really disappointed that I'd never heard about Borges before moving here.
Oh, he's
And
good.
then I like that the library has a quote above the main entrance.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
I would have been into all those weird ideas.
Well, have you read them all?
No.
Do you want to?
Yes.
I can loan you.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll bring in well, I mean, you must have labyrinths, right?
No.
I'll bring it in for you.
Yes.
I mean, my favorite thing to do on Wikipedia is just look at Scott's Wikipedia pages. for perfectly mundane things.
Sometimes I like to go and just see how long the German names for things are.
I just look up video games.
It's a carryover from doing localization on a video game where you have like a really rigid UI, and then all of a sudden add new languages with very long words. Oops, new problem to solve. Wonder why we didn't think of that.
German is great because its vocabulary is modular somehow.
I remember getting into an argument on a video game forum because someone said there was a thing coming in a video game, like there was like a feature of this game, and they cited the Wikipedia article as to why that was happening, and I said it didn't count because like every article, every blog article cited the Wikipedia article, and that
Yeah.
Wikipedia article
Circular?
literally,
Yeah.
and I was just like, you know that.
Yeah, a woozle. Yeah.
Is that what that's called? That's a good
Well,
name.
it's from
good word,
Winnie the
yeah.
Pooh,
Heffalump.
right? Where they're following the thing that leaves. They're following their own tracks, but don't know it.
Oh,
Right.
I watched a video about the F-35 recently
Okay.
that was talking a lot about like all the negative press that it gets.
Yep.
Is down to one interview that appeared on Russia Today. And then it got picked up by a lot of like media sites and repeated. And because it had like all those different it was down to one dude on Russia Today having an interview about the F-35.
Wow. It's like Connections, but bad. It's
Yeah.
just like, and this is why the Saturn V is the width it is. But
Yep. But, you know, for the death of objective reality.
yeah, it's like, this is why you think Britney Spears should not be in charge of her own life. It's going to be so much fun to paint when I actually get to painting.
Yeah, painting is a very, very long process. I always think, yeah, this will make a fun painting stream for like a couple hours when I pick up a kit.
Like 5 hours later, like,
Really?
well, I guess I'm done priming.
Yep.
We should just do this every week.
Yeah.
sure. I don't know where we'd fit that in every week, but that sounds like James's problem,
yeah, exactly.
not my problem.
Well, he'd probably make us get up at like 9 a.m. if we left it to him. But like,
Yeah,
that's
okay,
where the
we
gap
should-
on the schedule is.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, I don't mind early streams.
Oh, but that's my workout time.
It's my sleeping
And
time.
I'm doing that on stream. No one can watch me melt into a puddle but me.
I've been waking up at like 6 in the morning the last few days.
Ooh,
It's not bad.
you get to watch the sunrise, or is it already up at like 4?
It's kind of up already. The worst part is having to wait a couple of hours for cafes to open.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've done that. I've woken up and have been like, yeah, it's like everybody should be up now. And all the stores are still closed. And you're like, right, it's 9 a.m. What?
Yep.
Yeah, well, that was like taking the Greyhound to Grand Prairie. You'd be like, and you're in at 5 a.m. Cool. Everything is closed.
I mean, when I worked in Calgary, at least then there were cafes open in downtown Calgary because the oil company I worked at worked on Houston time.
Right.
The time the world should operate at. And I was like, uh-huh. So I had to be in the office at 5:30 in the morning.
Is Houston not on Mountain Time?
I don't know. It's on whatever was
think
most
it's
inconvenient
one
for me.
over.
Central.
Yeah, I think it might be central.
Oh, that's the worst time zone.
So I had to be up super early in the morning to go and get media digests on the executives' desks by the time they got in at 6 a.m., which was when people started work in Houston at 7 a.m.
Ha, we were right. Houston is central.
I mean, okay, I guess Newfoundland's half-hour nonsense could be technically worse.
Yeah, but nobody goes
nobody
by
does
Newfoundland's
that.
time. Sorry, Newfoundland. Nobody goes by your time but you.
Any Aussies enjoying a coffee break right now? Want to tell us about time zones?
If you make life
we
hard,
have more than they do, Beej.
yeah, we have more coffee breaks than the Aussies. What?
Theirs are weirder.
No.
No,
It's just they're upside down, Beach.
Yeah.
their toilets don't flush right.
They flush left.
And then hamburgers eat people.
No, that's Russia.
Right.
I did it.
Yay!
My work is complete.
Good job, Corey.
It's all brown now.
In Soviet Russia, turkeys shoot you.
Wait a minute. I guess I can do the little ones too. Can you pass me the other small platform? Thank you.
See, a bunch of you were checking in, and none of you were talking about John Howe Island. Howe Island? What is the name of the frickin'? It's off by 45 minutes. Tell us about all those time zones.
Pick a random island to tell us their time zone.
It's times like this that you appreciate the People's Republic of China and their insistence that no, we're on one time zone. And people living in Western China are like, I've never seen the sun in my life.
Let's see what I can do here.
Mouth noises?
No,
Oh. Beatboxing.
I mean that I can't stop. I just don't want to have to hear all of his mouth noises later.
Well, that was your choice.
It is my choice.
You made a vow!
I found those the other day. It did not include your mouth noises.
Good,
Your-
good, yes.
Your half didn't.
Always check the contract. Beach, if you two didn't sign the same contracts, there's going to be some issues.
Yeah, and I'm gonna win.
I'm going to be straight with you. I don't remember most of mine, and I wrote them. And I don't remember most of yours, and I was listening.
Sure you were.
That's what I'm hearing here.
Beach was just there at the altar saying, man and wife. Say man and wife.
It do be like that.
So Arclight brought up Hans Island for us, since we're talking about islands.
Which means that Canada now shares a land border with Europe.
Yep.
So we should apply to join the EU. I'll get EU passports and rail passes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm on board with this.
Yes.
I wasn't
Hell
sure where
yeah.
Cameron was going, but now I'm here.
Yep.
Yes. Good plan. Good plan. Make it so, number one.
And that'll mean that tariff restrictions might be an interesting case, because if we share a trade agreement with, like, the whatever the new NAFTA is, the CUM zone or whatever we're calling it, the whatever that new agreement is, Canada, United States, and Mexico.
Yeah,
so
no,
I know.
So-
Talk about
now that we're in the EU and we're also part of that agreement, does that not mean that, like, that we'll be like the premier trade partner, because we can kind of send stuff back and forth across all those across all those
Yeah,
borders.
we're just trading the CUM.
yeah back
and
and forth
forth.
forever.
Yeah.
I'm not. What I was on board for this conversation because we were gonna be on trains, and now we're talking about tariffs.
Wow.
Sign me up for trains. I want to be on a train. They seem cool.
You know what they say about softwood lumber?
Is it true that like there's trains that you can go to the roof of the car and like?
Yes.
Yeah, dome cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I thought you meant like you can go to the roof of a car,
Look,
like
I'm
James
not-
Bond,
I'm not suggesting
like walk on the outside of a
I'm-
train while
I'm
it's
not-
running.
I'm not suggesting a train heist, but I am. The end.
Yeah, there's some really cool viewing cars for passenger rail.
Like trains just seem like the best form of transportation as far as I'm concerned. I don't have to drive. I know they're not going to like pull into the wrong lane, and I can read a
hope
book.
not.
Shh, they can't pull into the wrong lane. Corey, don't make trains scary.
You know, they only have to give up right of way to freight traffic. That's completely a workable way to build trains in Canada.
Uh,
I'm not talking about Canadian trains. I'm talking about the European ones, which are better.
Functional replacements for airlines. Yes. I mean, if we had high-speed rail in Canada, it would still take a very long time to make it from Vancouver to Toronto.
but there's definitely spots like
Yeah.
Edmonton, Calgary.
oh
But
yeah,
why would I want to go to Toronto?
Toronto, Montreal.
Yeah.
yeah.
Or, yeah, there are corridors where it makes a lot of sense. Like I still think a Vancouver, Seattle, San Francisco train corridor.
Yeah, they have it, but it's slow.
Yeah, but that as a high-speed rail corridor would be awesome. Oh,
I
really,
don't-
Arclight Dynamo? That's really cool. VIA is building separate high-frequency tracks in the London-Quebec corridor.
But that's in Quebec. I want it here.
But if it means they can run the trains more often, then hopefully it means people can actually ride the trains more often. It might mean that it's like, oh, it is actually functional to put people on trains. We should build high-speed versions.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Watching some of the No More Cars, Not Just Bikes. Well, I had a different name for that channel. Not Just Bikes did a thing about GO trains in Ontario and how they they've been building stations that are essentially in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Because they're like, well, we're going to build suburbs out here.
Right.
But it's like you're building a train in an area. You're building the train in a train station in an area that is only serviced by more roads, so they have to have park and rides, and then it's only going to be suburbs out here, which means that people are going to take their cars to go into places to go shopping and do stuff. You basically haven't eliminated any of the reasons why people should want to prefer taking a train. You just made it a second option, which means that it's not going to be that compelling an option for a lot of people. And I was like, it's a fair point. He gets super mad at fake London. He's like, that it could be so much better there, but it isn't.
What's fake London?
London, Ontario.
Wait,
He lives in Europe now, right? So real London is London, England. So fake London is London, Ontario.
Wouldn't it be New London?
Small London. Canada, London. Which Vancouver's the real Vancouver?
Will you please stand up?
Isn't the one in Washington State actually older?
It might be.
But like
Someone out there
Vancouver
can
has
check
3
Wiki
million
for
people.
us, Yeah.
Yeah.
So they win that fight to the death. This one's got a lucky door.
Yay. I'm sure Steph will be very happy about that.
Hope all of the Stevs are very happy with our work today.
agree. I hope all the Sims are happy with the work we do.
I think I want red for some jerry cans.
Yeah, I was thinking of making just this red.
Just the tap?
Yeah, just the tap.
Perfect.
So the tap could be very fast.
Hmm.
Also, don't be afraid to mix colors other than your swampy green. You can make pink if you want.
I do like pink. I could make the skulls on this pink. I'm liking the swampy green with the orange.
Yeah, it goes really well.
Works.
Boop-a-doop-a-doop. I like all the little details on these panels I wasn't really looking at earlier.
Yeah, there's a lot of like grids and like
Greeblies,
what great.
little orc faces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the orcs have really fun architecture. Oh, Orlantia, a wet palette is, okay, there are many different ways of making a wet palette. The one I use is I just have like a Tupperware sandwich container with a kitchen sponge in it that is kept moist, and then you put a piece of like parchment baking paper over top of that,
Yeah.
and you mix your paint on that, and the moisture from the sponge keeps the paint from drying on your palette as you use it. It's extremely handy, and I will never go back to using a comic backing board again.
Do you have a yellow?
Yeah.
Or bag and backing board, which is what I used to use for a long time.
Can you sit for a second?
Yeah?
Don't pick it up.
Okay.
Wow, that's very close.
Can I pick it up again now?
Yeah, you're good. Thank you.
Let these sit and dry a bit. Grabby. Yes. Dirty. Looks really solid.
Yeah. So what's the deal with your squad?
Oh, my kill team?
Yeah.
They are Chaos Cultists, or they are Traitor Imperial Guard. So there are 3 kinds of tiers of, well, 4, I guess, of Chaos armies in Warhammer 40k.
Okay.
The most common one that you see on the tabletop are Chaos Space Marines, who are remnants of the original 9 legions of Space Marines that fell to Chaos during the formative era of the setting, right? You know, the standard Fall of the Rebel Angels kind of stuff.
Okay.
But they have, you know, a range of motivations ranging from like, we were betrayed, or we took a bad deal, or we had to, like, you know, it's all very tragic, all the way down to like, we actually just wanted to. Then there are demons, who are the stuff of the pure warp. Then there are chaos cults, who are humans who are being used, you know, in the way that humans are in 40k to achieve various purposes, but they're basically just like civilians with guns and
Okay.
sharp sticks. And then there are Traitor Imperial Guard, which show up everywhere in the fiction, are kind of like the most common bad guy mooks to run into. But they are, you know, they're Imperial military who have thrown in their lot with chaos for one reason or another. And that's who I play. They're called Blooded in Kill Team. The specific Kill Team I'm playing are called the Blooded.
Okay.
And they, yeah, I don't know. They're it's a model kit I've been waiting for a long time, because Games Workshop, despite making it clear that Chaos Cultists are quite common in the universe, haven't really given us a lot of models for them.
Oh, seems odd for.
Yeah, I guess they just thought they wouldn't be popular.
Oh, that's fair.
I mean, everyone loves Marines.
Yeah.
Right? Marines are very easy to sell kits of.
It's kind of the problem with a thing that ends up having to make money, right?
Yeah.
You don't always get the thing if it doesn't sell.
And it's partially a self-fulfilling prophecy too, right? Like,
Can't sell something you don't make.
Yep. But, I can also understand Games Workshop's problem with that. Starting a new line of models is extremely expensive because these kits are not cheap to make. Anyway, they're here now. I'm super happy with the kits. I think they look great. I think they feel fun to play. I like how they get stronger as the game goes on, as they take and inflict casualties. Yeah, honestly, I'm super happy with and the models look great.
And yours is a troop of Harlequins?
Yep. So they're sort of a remnant of the Eldar, like space elves, who accidentally, while they were in the warp, created a manifestation of their, desires and thoughts and stuff that corrupted them and kind of drove them all into fighting a war with themselves. So now the elves are all hiding in a secret network called the Webways that mostly only they have access to. But mine are sort of assassins and lore keepers that try to keep the history alive while also fighting the forces of chaos.
That's me.
Yeah. Most of the Eldar gods died.
Two escaped. Kayla Mencha Kane, the Eldar god of death and slaughter and blood.
And war.
Yeah, and war. Incidentally, war, kind of.
A little bit.
It kind of happens.
Yeah,
with
he's
all
kind
the
of
other
like
stuff.
he's kind of like the Eldar equivalent of Ares.
Oh, okay.
In that,
okay.
how the Greeks had a couple of gods they associated with war.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to plan a
Athena,
war, you kind of like wanted Athena on board, but Ares was the god of like slaughter on the battlefield. That's who the Eldar have left.
Okay.
Their other god who survived was Kegarak, the laughing god of the Harlequins, who hid in the webway. They've also made a new god.
Which is the, manifestation of all their, fears and gross thoughts and stuff like that.
Oh, well, that's Slanesh, the Chaos God.
Yeah.
So they've got four, kind of.
Oh, okay.
Kind of.
They also have a brand new one, who they had to rush production on before they were ready. And so that's the God of the Dead.
I mean, you generally end up having to rush the God of the Dead.
Yeah.
It happens when you least expect it. Someone's got to take care of that.
Yeah, so like the fun thing that happens when the Eldari dies, their like spirits go into the warp and are absorbed into Slanesh. And just a fun amalgamation. There's eternity in hell as a living spirit. And there's even a Harlequin player that takes the role of Slanesh called a Solitaire.
Yeah, in their plays.
Oh.
Yeah, but they don't talk to anybody else. No one likes them.
Yeah, exactly. It's the untouchable role, kind of.
Yeah, it's like, you get to represent our worst enemy and sit over there.
We had to give cousin Ned a part, huh?
There are other Eldar factions around too, like the Dark Eldar, who also live in the Webway in their hideous city of Komarov, are probably the closest thing to what the old Eldar were like. In that, the reason that the Eldar created Slaanesh in the Warp is because the Warp is like this realm, this parallel universe of pure thought and emotion. And so humans have a presence in the Warp because we're Warp active. The aliens Ian plays, the Tau, don't really have a psychic presence. So they don't really interact with the Warp at all. Eldar interact rather a lot with the Warp. They have very bright, what they would consider their souls would be very bright in the Warp. And they kind of draw an excess of water in the Warp. So the reason that they created Slaanesh, the Prince of Chaos, the god of desire, was that, when you're an immortal elven god who rules the galaxy, why don't you just indulge everything?
I mean, sure.
Yeah, right?
I don't
like,
think I
nothing
can
could
fault
possibly
that.
hurt you.
Yeah.
So,
They had a lot of orgies and drank a lot.
yeah, and they would just, kill people if they didn't like them. If they
Yeah.
thought a planet was ugly, they'd blow it up. It was just kind of... Imagine the richest people on Earth suddenly deciding that they didn't really have laws that needed to apply to them anymore. Imagine people with extremely bad taste and too much power.
I think we have those.
That's
Yep.
going to be a real hard stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I've seen the news.
And so, all of those thoughts and feelings combined into a nasty, nasty god that
Ate them all.
ate them all. And now they are kind of like Vulcans, where they try to maintain some control, and they kind of have to like hyper focus on a specific thing. They're like, okay, I'm just gonna be really good at martial arts.
Yep.
And I'm gonna do that forever.
I'm becoming a being of pure cobbling
Yeah.
for a while. And then I'm going to become a being of pure whatever. Those are the craft world Eldar,
Okay.
who were kind of like, they're on giant planet-sized spaceships that travel through the galaxy. And they try to live very monastic lives so that they don't attract demons.
I mean, that's fair. I don't necessarily want to attract demons unless I want to.
Yeah. So that's one survival strategy the Eldar have. The Harlequins have another one where they still have a god who will accept their souls when they die.
Yep.
So that's totally fine.
Except for the Solitaire, who
Gets eaten by Slaanesh.
yeah.
The Dark Eldar, what they do is they live in the Webway, and I think their deal is that they don't ever really die. They have, like, as long as there's a fingernail left, a Dark Eldar's buddies will collect them and grow them back.
Oh, okay, sure.
Like, they have that technology.
Bros.
Yeah, so that forms kind of like the basis of their social compact, is that they're violent and untrustworthy and cruel and vicious, but they still have to, like, there's a basis of understanding there. So they get to continue doing all the stuff that ruined the galaxy, with no consequences for them whatsoever.
Sounds like a win.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, imagine like all those billionaires with terrible taste actually ruined Earth, but went into a space station in orbit and kept doing all that stuff.
Okay, so the future.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
Imagine the future.
They're honestly really fun, just because they're such dirtbags. They're somehow more evil than Chaos Demons.
Who are the bad guys?
Yes, because they just like doing this.
Oh, I wasn't aware that 40K had like. Oh,
I mean,
that
there
is
are
the-
badder
that is the
guys than
villain,
other bad
right?
guys.
Like, because I just assumed it's one of those things where it's a war game. No one's really a villain because everybody sucks.
Hey,
Oh
who's
yeah,
the good
everyone
guy?
does suck.
Who's
Well,
the good
I mean,
guy?
there aren't really, like, one of the interesting things I thought in 40K was that, everyone says there are no good guys in 40K.
But there are guys who pretty much everyone hates.
But, like, that doesn't mean that there isn't, like, individual decency and compassion and honor and honesty among people.
Still traits that we deem good.
Yeah, like in the fiction, most of the characters in the fiction are fundamentally pretty decent people if you're dealing with, like, Imperial-centric fiction. Even a lot of all the characters are still more or less sympathetic. The thing is that all of that stuff, like all of that sacrifice and decency and compassion, what does it amount to? Right? Like, say one of the characters in the books that I read, Ibram Gaunt, who's kind of like Sharp from Sharp's Rifles. It's very much like, how are Gaunt and the boys going to save the Imperium today? He's a pragmatist. He's a decent man, and he gets his regiment of nearly extinct Imperial Guardsmen through battle after battle, and that furthers Imperial goals. And every once in a while, they have to reckon with the fact that, like, yeah, we liberated this planet. Now the Inquisition's going to come through it, and tear through the civilian population. Guess we're on to the next planet. Not going to think about that one too hard.
Here.
Yep.
Yep, stick a fork in it, we're out.
Yep. Yeah, like the Imperium is a fascist hellhole, which doesn't mean that there aren't people with redeeming characteristics in it, but that doesn't redeem the entire apparatus.
Right.
Yeah. Which I think is, it's interesting. Where does this even go? I don't have the instructions. I gave Jacob the instructions for this entire kit because he wanted the Phobos Marines from it, and I was done building the Trader Guard. Yeah, Faceless Man About Town. Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, yeah. I mean, that actually isn't really what Ordinary Men is about either, right? Ordinary Men is about the fail sons who needed a job.
Doing okay, Beach?
Yeah, I watched a couple good movies a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been looking for. I really like Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Yes,
Yes.
I
Yes.
watched that a couple of weeks ago, and
Yeah.
The movie
holds
that's
up.
named after this show.
Yes.
It holds up. It's excellent.
It does, and it's weird because I watched it like a few years before that, and then I watched it again recently and realized that I forgot most of what went on in the film. And I'm like, that's fine. I love it when that happens with a movie,
Right,
When,
yeah.
with a really good one, especially.
Yeah.
So I was looking for other things to watch. I watched the one that was about the invention of radar in. It's a BBC. It was a BBC thing, and it's on, I think, Amazon Prime or whatever.
Right.
It was a lot of fun. It was also short. It was like 89 minutes or so, but it was really good. And then I watched a movie on Amazon Prime called Mr. Jones, and it's about Gareth Jones, who is it Gareth Jones? I might be conflating two movies here, but Mr. Jones is about a man named Mr. Jones who gets approached to, he's a journalist who wants to go to Russia, to the CCCP, and I guess really the USSR, let's just say that. He wants to go there and see what's going on with stuff, and this is like early Stalinist days. And he gets there, and he discovers it's like, oh, it's really weird because they're not letting me go and see things, and the contingent of journalists who are over here are just kind of like weird hedonists, and they just like hang out and do heroin and listen to music and have sex and in like big parties and stuff, and they aren't really doing much of whatever, but they're all, they're just doing the journalism thing. Like, we're publishing, articles and shit on whatever. He manages to like wheedle his way into Ukraine to figure out what's going on. And I'm like, wait, what is this movie actually about? And he gets to Ukraine, and it's about the Holodomor. And I was like, shit, that came out of nowhere, because they don't talk about it at all in the beginning of the film or even in the synopsis. And I'm like, oh, this film that's come out just recently before everything happened in Ukraine, really, oh geez, this is really very fucking relevant.
Yeah, that seems like a hell of a thing to spring on someone.
It really was, and it's such a good movie, and it's really hard to watch, and I'm just like, oh Jesus. And yeah, so that was
Okay.
it was great though. Like, I had a really good, like, I was like, wow, I'm glad I watched this. But it's because I've been looking for more films like that of, hey, show me things that are interesting where people are doing, like, are you doing brain things? They're not doing shooting things.
So you want documentaries.
Kind of, yeah. But I want, like,
Well, I mean, like,
Only
I want
watches
biopics,
documentaries.
I guess, is what I want, you know?
I mean, my favorite genre of brain, or like, my favorite kind of action movie or thriller, I guess, is the one where well-dressed people in well-tailored suits solve problems created by sweaty people in poorly fitting suits.
Yes.
Right? So, like, my favorite movie for, like, when I need to chill out on some random night is Hunt for Red October.
Yeah.
Because everything in that movie happens for a reason, and things make sense, and it's like, yes, I like watching these handsome men in well-tailored uniforms fixing problems created by sweaty men.
What I like about that movie too is it's a Jack Ryan film that is not about who can shoot the most people.
Yeah, like he uses a gun once.
Yeah. Yeah.
But mostly it's about, like, trying to guess other people's motives and then what things actually mean,
Yeah.
right? Like, well, what does this behavior actually mean?
It's why I've always loved sneakers, because I love that it seems like it has that sense of ordinary people swept up into an extraordinary conflict. But then you realize that these aren't ordinary people, they never were. So they were kind of always extraordinary people, and they were existing in an area, in a world, in an industry where it stood to reason that they might always end up being swept into this kind of conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was bound to happen to them at some point. So, yeah.
And they're led by Robert Redford.
Yeah, it is probably my
The
favorite.
most ordinary person.
Absolutely.
Yep.
The handsomest man to ever look like he was hit in the face with a bat.
Except for Fabio.
Yeah.
Who was...
Hit him in the face with a goose. Yes.
Yep. I love Brent Butt's joke about that.
I'm Fabio.
Well, just like pointing out the fact that Fabio being hit in the face with a goose sounds really funny, until you actually realize he was on a roller coaster doing like 80 kilometers an hour
Yep.
and hit a goose. And a goose weighs about 30 pounds.
Like, it'll take out an airplane.
Anything at 80 kilometers an hour will
Yeah.
hit you really hard.
This is like you're on a motorcycle and someone swings a bag of potatoes at your face. Right? And Fabio was just like, I have goose in my blouse. Right? Like, maybe we should hit him again. He's the Terminator.
Let's say y'all to a little breaky break.
Break.
I think that'd be good.
Break time.
I love break time.
All right, everybody. As soon as Beach gets back to the computer, we can go look at some commercials. Hey, everybody, we're back.
Hello.
Painting terrain here on Tinker, Tailor, Soldier, Fry, and talking about Tinker, Tailor, Soldier, Spy.
Truly outstanding film, actually.
I think there's more than one version of it, isn't there? Like there's the
Yeah,
Gary
there
Oldman and
was
there's an
one
older
from the
one.
90s on TV, and then there was one that was made about 10 years ago with Gary Oldman, which is really, really good.
Love Gary Oldman. Ever since Fifth Element. Seen a lot of. Actually, that might be one of my comfort movies. Like
Really?
it's just like I know everything that happens. I've seen
Yeah.
it so many times. My mom used to like when she was doing chores, she would just leave a movie on. So it was like usually like one of the Star Treks or Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter. It's just
Something.
Something.
Something familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that thing that basically feels like a warm hug,
Yeah.
and that's what you want at that point.
But her favorite movie is Fifth Element, so I've probably seen it 20 times. So
I think
I'm
I've
like an
only
expert.
seen. I think I've seen the opera scene about like 20 million times
Yeah.
because that gets floated around in the geek circles.
yep.
But I've only really seen the movie maybe twice.
Mm.
It's fun.
They did a radio drama of Tinker Tailor.
Wow.
I mean,
Twice.
wasn't it originally a book?
Yep.
Yep.
Late 70s. Sorry, 1974. It's not that late.
Is it a John le Carre?
Sure
Yep.
is.
Yeah. I've only read one of his son's books, but maybe I should read more.
I've been meaning to watch The Night Manager, which is based on one of his novels.
Okay.
So, there's a lot that he's written that I recognize.
Sudden noises make us all jump.
The Spy
Yep.
Who Came In From the Cold,
Yeah.
which I've seen that movie, and that was a little depressing, but it's pretty good. The Night Manager, The Tailor of Panama. I didn't realize that movie, I'm assuming, is based on that novel. So, The Constant Gardener.
Mhm.
That is about all the ones of the novels that I'm seeing here. Yeah.
I want to say that Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy is part of a trilogy.
I
You know?
think so.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds right.
It's there's a series of novels he wrote that all star George Smiley.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so Call for the Dead in 1961, A Murder of Quality, The Spy Who Came In From the Cold, The Looking Glass War, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, The Honorable Schoolboy, Smiley's People, The Secret Pilgrim, and A Legacy of Spies, which was written in 2017.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh, so he's still alive, is what you're saying?
2020 passed away.
Oh. Dang it.
December the 12th, he was 89 years old.
I mean, I have this horrible habit of, and this stems from being a kid and like being like, oh, this is really cool, and then you find out that the person's not alive anymore because
Douglas Adams.
they wrote this thing in like the 50s or whatever,
Yeah.
and so I have this habit of being like, oh, this book's cool. They're probably dead.
I did that the
This
other
book came out last week, but they're probably dead.
I did it the other day. I was like, oh, rip Mitch.
Mm.
Because I have it all on my iPod, so it's just like, oh yeah, every time this comes, I love listening to this, but it's like, I'll never hear anything new that you'll do.
Yep.
Oh well.
Poor guy.
Yeah, that I felt bad about because I didn't find out about him until after.
Yeah, we were riding in the car, and I was playing some back for you. Like,
Yeah,
this
I
is
was
good.
like, oh, yeah, a comedian that you're playing that I actually like. It'd be really cool to know more about this. Oh, he's dead. Okay.
Yeah, he-
Alright.
2 albums and
Not
a few
allowed to have
specials.
nice things.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Boop, 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 boop. Just think of all the people who never got to see Cats 2019.
Lost forever.
And be happy for them. What? What emotion do you want me to feel here, Corey?
Relief? I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm not here to tell you what to feel. Just, it's something that they could you could feel about, you know,
Oh, okay. Something I could feel about
if you want.
if I want.
Yeah.
All right.
If you can hear this right now, this showing of Cats has ended, sir, and you've fallen asleep in the theater.
It's 2019.
It's time to go.
Wake up.
I mean, there was that whole meme going around on Twitter for a while. The like, if you're reading this, you've been in a coma for whatever amount of time. And every time I saw that, I was just like, I understand this is a meme, but boy, if I was having a bad day and I saw a bunch of these, I don't know. I don't know if I could take. I feel like I could easily be gaslit by some of this. I feel like there would be that one day that would be like, yep, nope, seems right.
Yep.
I also do love how every time a new meme happens, everybody does the meme, and then everybody panics that they're accidentally secretly giving away their social security number. Don't answer the meme about the thing. They'll know.
I've actually got a pretty good idea of what I've already like told people publicly after years of blabbering on the internet. So there's just like a limited go-to list of things that I'll meme about.
Sometimes I look at them and I'm like, I could type all that out, but that seems like work. And no.
No. Not today,
Not
Satan.
today.
I think
Or you try to do a meme and you're like, oh, I have the perfect thing for this, but then it starts to be work and you're like, nah, it's
Oh yeah, I've done that.
Yeah,
I've done that for like replies where I'm like, I have to Google something just to confirm.
make sure I have the right spelling.
Yeah.
I've had to Google Luxana Troy's name every time I make those tweets because I'm just like,
Stupid apostrophe.
I don't know. I know there's a W in here somewhere, and
Locks?
I don't-
I love her so much.
she's so good.
Like, she's so awful, and I love her. I would die for Loxana Troy because she's so awful.
She's 100% a Toreador,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
and
Oh.
she's beautiful for it.
But, like, I love that she doesn't really pick on anyone other than Picard.
Yeah.
And her own daughter.
And her own daughter. Yeah, she's
Well,
pretty
you know,
awful to
family,
Deanna.
but,
Yeah.
You know.
But she, like, very clearly, like, she's a diplomat. Like, she's a Federation diplomat and knows what she's doing.
Yeah, I love that she wants to tell you her titles every single time.
Yeah.
Because it's like, some of that, the acting feels like, no, the thing of whatever. I'm like, but that's probably actually important to somebody.
yeah,
Oh, the titles?
somebody gives a shit about the sacred chalice of
the
Rix.
sacred chalice. And
Yeah. The rings of... Yeah.
yeah, whatever. But you know,
Holder of the
She
sacred
just wants
chalice,
naked
daughter
hot
of the
tub
fifth,
time.
fifth house.
Yep.
well, and yeah, like I recently saw this episode where a scientist comes on board that she ends
Oh,
up
yeah.
like doing whatever, and when she's talking to Picard, who clearly doesn't want her to come with him because this planet has been full of xenophobes. And he's just like, you're maybe too outgoing for what we're about to do. And she's just like, oh, diplomacy. I love diplomacy. Everyone's always so well dressed. And I'm like, yeah. She's awesome. I mean, she's not a personal person I'd necessarily want to be around. But I find the best characters are like that. The ones that
Yeah.
are most interesting to watch are
Like, what?
not people you want to necessarily be friends with.
Well, it's like Mud, right? Because Mud's usually kind of fun when he shows up, but he's it's the worst.
Like, wouldn't it be the worst, though, if Loxana Troy showed up at your workplace and then just was completely bored by you, like, took no interest in you whatsoever?
Oh, yeah, that would be
If you were the one
worse.
that she was
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah, thanks, here's my coat.
Oh, yeah, I think that would be worse than actually having her pay attention.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wait,
she
now
just
I
like
feel
hands you her
sad.
bag and is like, 1 sugar.
Oh.
Yeah, I also just
You're like,
I
is
love
it tea or coffee? Is it tea or coffee?
I love the everybody's like, oh, your mother's coming, and like the different facial expressions that are like, and then you see Riker being like, I don't have to deal with it. She's gonna go after Picard.
Oh, right, yeah, because when she first shows up, Riker's like nervous because, it's Troy's mom.
Yeah,
And then Picard just winds up tanking aggro the entire time.
yeah. I also forgot how much of a horn dog Riker is.
Really?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's just should you really be doing some of that with your position of power?
Like, I'm pretty sure Riker is Gene Roddenberry's self-insert.
Ooh. Ooh.
Right? Like, you can kind of see it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's like, oh God, the comic book writer guy who dated.
Grant Morrison.
No, not Grant Morrison.
Wrote Transmetropolitan
Warren
and then
Ellis.
Warren Ellis.
That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who wrote himself into X-Men and dated Kitty Pryde.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh God, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Was he at least like really obvious about it? Like it was
It
literally
was-
a guy
it
named
was
Warren.
It looked like him.
Yeah, it looks
That's-
like him.
Yes. Okay, yeah. You know what? If you got the chance, I guess go for the slam dunk, right?
I suppose I don't know. There's
Like, I mean, it's an impressive way to show your contempt for something.
Yes.
Like, they want to pay me how much to write cape shit? All right, but I'm going to ruin it.
Oh God.
You're sure? All right.
Does that mean that if they make another X-Men movie or they drop more X-Men
No.
into the Marvel Universe, that they'll have to have Kitty Pryde show up with somebody who looks like Warren Ellis at some point?
Pretty sure they killed her.
Did they? Not in every timeline, certainly.
Well, I'm trying to
Yeah.
remember the X-Men movies. They kind of feel like an eternity ago with all the Marvel stuff and the
Yeah.
way the superhero stuff went.
Oh, right. Warren Ellis turned out to be a sex pest, too.
A
I
little
think.
bit.
Yeah. Oh, God. I mean, looking back at his work. Yeah.
You know, not allowed to not have nice things.
Nope.
Ms. Marvel was good.
Oh yes,
Speaking of
Miss
X-Men.
Marvel was fantastic, and I'm looking forward to when they do a movie with her in it.
I just want to see old Logan train her.
Oh yeah, Corey's been telling me about stuff that goes on in the comics, and I'm just like, yes,
That sounds
I
amazing.
could do
Right?
with that.
Old man Logan, come on. Give me that grumpy ass.
He is a grump. He's at his best when he's a grump.
Also, Grimlock. I want the dog.
Dog?
Doug.
There's a dog?
There's a dog that teleports.
Ooh, teleporty dog. I could go for that.
Didn't they have a giant dog in Inhumans?
That's the same giant dog.
Thank you. Okay.
Because in the comics, Miss Marvel is an Inhuman.
Ah.
But for some reason, they decided to go in a different direction for the film stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe they'll change their minds at some point.
I don't want to give them another chance at the Inhumans. I mean, although the Black Bolt thing that they did in spoilers, Doctor Strange was cute.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was.
Oh, so much good in the Doctor Strange movie. Though it took me forever to actually understand that that character's name was America, because that just seemed too silly to me for some reason. I don't know why. that specifically was going to be what made the comic books movie too silly, but you know.
The thing that I really enjoyed recently that was comic book adjacent was somebody photoshopped up Kevin Feige revealing the other 48 Sufjan Stevens albums
Yeah.
on like a big timeline, and I was like, yeah.
I liked all of the Master and Commander.
Yes, yeah, the
reboots.
Master and Commander ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Aubrey Maturin verse.
I wonder if you could just, like, if you're going to be revealing a movie at Comic-Con, if you just get him to come out and do it for you.
Yep.
I honestly can't tell what movies actually got revealed and what is some of the memes now, because
There's
the memes have been so.
There's that new Frasier two-parter, toss salad and scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But also, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I could see it. Why not? Why not
Yeah,
have
like-
Marvel do like some of these really weird ideas that I keep seeing memed?
Oh yeah, the Sandman.
Yeah, the trailer for
right.
Sandman
Yeah,
looks pretty
Sandman
cool.
looked
Yeah.
neat.
Reminded me,
Now I don't have to read it.
reminded me that everyone got super mad about Death's casting.
Can't imagine why.
I forgot all about that happening.
Yeah.
I was like, oh right, yes, this was an idiotic thing that happened.
Yep.
Have we heard if like when more Good Omens is happening?
They finished filming.
Okay.
I did love Neil Gaiman having to answer a fan who was like, but there's only one book. What are you adapting it from? And he's like, I'm going to write another one.
Ah, that's how it works. I'm
Yeah.
allowed.
Because my understanding was him and Pratchett had discussions about a second book, or ideas based on it that they never really got around to.
I think it'd be cool if Rihanna got involved.
Yeah, she seems pretty.
Oh, Brianna Pratchett.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, yeah.
It's like
Yeah, it would be pretty cool if Rihanna got
it would be
involved.
really cool if Rihanna was in.
You're right. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't see how, but I'm for it.
I feel pretty good about trusting what Neil Gaiman wants to do in regards to like a lot of his works at this point, because having watched a lot of like we watched Lucifer on Netflix. I was not into this idea of watching this show, and Heather was watching it, and I was like, I don't know about this, and I started watching, like, this is just so fun.
I promise you, I don't think he actually had that much to do with that show.
No, but he wrote the character initially with a couple
Yeah.
other
Yes,
people.
that is one of his characters.
And so there's this tiny modicum of involvement even there that is
And
Is-
he played the voice of God in one of the episodes.
yeah,
Is it one of his characters?
it's
You sure?
Yeah. Are we 100% positive on that one?
I think so. I mean,
Yeah.
it credits him with the.
No,
Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
you're correct,
Yeah.
Heather. You're correct.
Yes. Yes.
It's just-
Sorry, I'm just.
yeah.
But also,
Oh,
I
see,
was
don't
going to
steal.
say,
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, don't steal.
speaking of Lucifer, I'm glad that we're going to get more Gwendolyn Christie, because she's great. And yeah, casting her as Lucifer is great. No notes.
No notes.
But then, like, seeing all the other stuff that, like, with Good Omens coming out, that was a lot of fun. It's really interesting. And, God, what else did he do? I mean, just other things like Stardust was a lot of fun as a movie adaptation.
Yeah.
And Coraline was a lot of fun.
Yep.
And I'm like,
Yeah, like all of his stuff has had like good adaptations, except for not even what was the one?
Neverwhere or
Neverwhere.
Mirror Mask? Yeah.
Yeah, Neverwhere, which I didn't actually see or read, but I've heard controversial things about it.
Yeah.
But that was kind of like in the era when comic book adaptations weren't treated very well. Or no, wait, Neverwhere was a show first, wasn't it?
I thought it was.
Thought it was
I don't
a book
even
first.
know, right? But that was like
mean, I
kind of
always
in the
assumed
era
book
of the the Captain America movie where he's in a foam suit,
Yeah.
right.
right? Like
In American Gods, We watched the first 2 seasons of. We have not gone back to watch any more of it. But
It's just, I mean,
I
it's
like-
a lot.
yeah, and it is. It's a lot. But I was also like, oh, this really feels like it's paying a lot of attention to the source material. Like things I remember were things I didn't remember were then things I didn't remember. So I had no idea if they were like things that were in the thing or not. But it's like this just feels like the right kind of thing. It's entertaining. So whatever they're remembering, whatever they're putting in, clearly is stuff that I'm enjoying. So I'm having a good time. And so that's when it comes to the Sandman. I'm like, it's going to be the same thing. A lot of stuff I'm going to not remember. But if there's stuff in there that I'm like, I remember that, I'll have a good time.
I'm also just a sucker for Peter Stormare.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Who isn't?
He's just there and grumpy and vaguely pan-Scandinavian. Or Nordic or Germanic or something. I don't know.
Delightful.
Yeah.
Enjoyable to be around. I don't know.
Yeah. He'll be around and he'll be grumpy and kind of a weirdo.
Yay. Soup.
I do like soup.
It's not soup time today.
No, it's not really the soup weather.
Hmm.
What about cold soup? Gazpacho.
I've never been super fond of a lot of cold soups.
I really like cucumber.
Cucumber's the worst thing to come out of the ground.
Well, that might be one of your problems if you're eating cucumbers from in the ground.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not a cucumber, Heather. I don't know what that is, but that's not a cucumber.
Hate to break it to you.
Or they grow on like vines, or
They're
I always
like-
assumed they were kind of like carrots.
No, they're
No?
not a root. They're
They're a fruit.
I mean, I stay away from
I
them,
guess.
so I don't really.
They're wouldn't they be a fruit?
yeah,
so,
they
yeah.
got seeds on the inside. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, you like fruit.
Blueberries.
Oh,
No, blueberries are gross.
Jesus Christ.
sounds like my parents. If you don't like pepper, well, I'm just gonna hide it in the food.
I'm
and there, you like
sorry,
it if you say you
I
liked it.
forget to tell people that I don't like blueberries when they ask me about things I don't like. They don't exist until they do, and then
Right.
that's when I remember I don't like them.
Which is fine, because I always remember she doesn't like them.
Yes,
Yeah.
because he likes them, so he gets to have them.
Yeah, and I hate when it's like, hey, I bought us blueberry muffins. I don't like these. And when that happened, I'm like, okay, I bought myself blueberry muffins, and that was still a good day.
Yeah.
You know what? I just
I
bought
won't
myself
argue
twice
that.
as many blueberry muffins than I thought I did.
I won't argue with that. It's a good day for you.
Good day for blueberries.
Good day for bean is a good day for blueberries.
I made sure I partnered with somebody who likes all the things I don't like, so that when I order food and stuff comes in it that I wasn't expecting, someone else will eat it, and I don't end up with that like restaurant plate where there's stuff left over
Okay.
and embarrassed.
And I have a
But-
meal and a half.
Does that mean that he eats like you eat his onions?
Yeah, actually.
Okay.
If they're raw. My water chestnuts, my radishes.
How do you not like water chestnuts?
They're
Jesus, because
delicious
they're
and
nothing.
crunchy.
There's nothing
But
to
they
them.
have such a good crunch.
Oh, God.
They
Oh.
really add to a meal.
Ugh.
See,
Oh,
he's
no.
the weirdo.
No.
The way he's reacting, it's like a water chestnut did something. Once.
Murdered his whole
It
family.
can't do anything. There's nothing to them. They're just a waste of cellulose and water. They just take up space in my Chinese food and make things taste like nothing. Give me flavor.
Last time I gave you flavor, you didn't like the spice level.
Ooh.
You don't get to ooh. You're the one being burned.
Took the Mickey out of that burn, though, didn't it?
No.
Woohoo! I'm still here. It was my Mickey Mouse. It was not a very good.
No,
one of
but
my
I
Mickey
did
Mouse.
recognize
Thank
what
you.
you were doing, and I appreciate your effort.
Awesome.
You're valid.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna go free roam camera for a bit.
Oh, you're going off-roading.
We're just gonna go wild. Just wild style.
Hmm.
Well, I'm going to be here for the next 15 minutes.
Just pan away.
Look, if you can't handle watching a stream about painting where you're gonna have to watch paint dry, I don't know why you're here.
Hmm. Yeah, someone in chat points out you do own a 5 horsepower blender. I suppose it's not surprising that you don't like things that have like texture.
Ooh.
That's a powerful observation from
Burned by
chat.
chat.
I'm trying to think of a counterexample, and I'm having a very hard time.
Well.
Whose fault is that?
It's more that he can't think of one because one doesn't exist.
I didn't realize terrain could get so big.
It is a landing pad.
Oh. So they stand on top of it?
Yep.
Neat.
So if there's one place you want to stand in a game of Warhammer 40k, it's on an elevated piece of terrain with no cover.
Well, do you get
You get vantage,
vantage
like
for being taller?
Yeah.
yeah, you do.
For having
They've
the
just
height?
been very careful that there are not a lot of like insurmountable terrain pieces. Not insurmountable, but like super defensible ones. Like it's rare to find, at least in official terrain, a something that has vantage point and cover. Because I don't think they want people to just like get dug in like an Alabama tick
Right, yeah.
on top of something.
I totally would.
I mean,
That
you-
my old Terran player
Yep.
instincts. Bunker, bunker, bunker.
the whole point is to grab every advantage you can, so why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It's not like you all showed up not knowing why you were there. It's time to get shooty
Yep.
and make sure other people don't shoot you. Like, it seems...
I mean, if you don't want people shooting you, you just kill them first.
Yeah, that's a good tactic.
Works every time.
Don't get shot. Shoot them first. All very simpatico.
It's good synergy with those
Yeah,
Yep.
there we go.
strategy.
Oh, your blue door looks really good.
Well, it'll look better after another coat. Which I will get to eventually.
I feel like I'm operating the camera on Mr. Buggy's neighborhood. I'm not mic'd, by the way, so I'm not sure that.
Well, I'll tell chat that Beach feels like a fancy two-camera sitcom lad.
Thanks.
That's exactly what Beach said.
I heard it and can confirm.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly.
Beach,
Yes.
if you have a moment,
Mhm.
could you go and get me a piece of gaff tape, please?
Yes. Do you have a color?
Any piece, any color.
How big? You just tear it yourself.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
More inert.
We're out of white gaff, so I'll probably have to buy another 7-color pack of gaff.
Great.
We're out of chocolate ice cream. Put more Neapolitan on the list.
Quite.
I bought this box of number 11 X-Acto blades when I was 12 or 13 years old.
Ooh.
It's 100. There are many left.
Are you the kind of person who errs on the side of, oh, I can just get a couple more uses out of this? Or are you like, the moment you have trouble, you're like, screw it, take it out, get a new one?
I kind of tend to stick with things for too long.
This
I'm
wasn't-
stubborn.
This was not meant to be a psychological examination.
Yet, nevertheless,
Nevertheless.
Sounds like some of the hiring questions I've had to answer.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of sandwich would you be? Oh shit. What are you actually trying to uncover? Oh, creativity. It's the thing with all the stuff in it.
It's just
I
like,
don't
if
know.
you were an animal, what type of animal would you be? And then back to back with like,
human.
name one time when you changed a customer's mind. Oh God.
Like for the better or just
Just change their mind.
Yeah. They walked in and I went, you don't want to be here today. Get out.
they're like you're right.
Like, I haven't worked retail.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Huh, with your job.
Yeah.
Hopefully not in this chair again.
Asking smarter questions.
Ooh.
Burying my enemies.
No, there was a place that I worked at briefly where questions like what superpowers would you have if you could have one?
Yep.
And like, what kind of sandwich would you be? And like things
It's
that, like you like.
does it have to
was
mesh
all-
well with the rest of the team? Like, do they ask the
all-
whole team those answers?
It's all we're trying to verify if you, like if you answer the superhero power one with things like, oh, I'd really like invisibility.
I like to
they-
set fires.
They take that as like a, oh, so you don't like interacting with people, and therefore you're going to be bad at your job.
That's, yeah. I mean,
Like,
most of those
stuff
are just
like
like,
that.
I feel that most of those are actually just excuses not to hire people.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh, I didn't like this person. Well, they answered the superhero question with like pyrokinesis.
So they're going to burn the store down.
Yeah.
It's like, we can't hire you for insurance reasons.
It's fun getting hired by those places and then learning what that's actually about, because they generally get the management almost never asks those questions. It's the people who are like taking the resume, who then you write the number code of whether or not they think you should be rejected immediately.
110.
Yep, 110.
Yeah, 110 that resume, please. 110.
And is it 135? That's for good. I can't remember the yes one. Most people just write the no one.
Yeah, because you just draw the slash,
Yeah.
right? To know.
Yeah, I used to get people who would, because it's low level retail jobs that I would work at. I'd get resumes from some of them, and if no one was around that I was working with, I'd look at the resumes and be like, okay, so I want you to go over your resume again. You've written costumer instead of customer, so you should fix that on your resume before you hand any more of these out. Also, you've asked for like $2 below minimum wage, so you should ask for at least minimum wage, because they will definitely think they can take advantage of you.
Yeah. Wow.
And I know you're like
Just putting on a clinic
15,
here.
but like, here, let me just make some notes on your resume, and please go fix this.
Just take out the red pen.
I like the idea of them being like, we're trying to form a superhero team, and you already have two guys who said flight, so you have to pick something else, like
Yes, exactly.
yeah,
Well, like,
teleportation.
wait. If everyone else on the superhero team has flight,
Wait.
How am I supposed to get around?
yeah, like
Oh, Bobby
one of
will
them is
carry
going to
you.
carry me?
Yeah.
I'll take telekinesis, please.
Yeah. You don't want to nightcrawler this shit though.
I would love a Nightcrawler.
I would just say
no.
Bamf every time I did it.
They've explored that whole idea that he's running through like a demon realm every time he does that, and that makes me a little uncomfortable.
I did really like the X-Files episode with the genie. And the like rednecks who find her first. One of them wishes for invisibility, and the other one is like, "Why'd you wish for invisibility?" And she's like, "So you can watch women in the change room." And he's like, "No, no." And then she grants his wish, and he's able to turn invisible, and he immediately gets hit by a car.
Justice.
And then a bike, it comes back from commercial, and there's just a body-shaped divot by the side of the road with flies buzzing around it, and a cyclist hits it and goes flying. It's a very good, like, clean gag.
That's if you can turn yourself invisible when you get hit. I would hope you would have been able that the power is like gone.
I mean, it depends, right? Like, if does it have to be a thing that you physically are aware of and doing, or is it one of those things of like, oh well, we killed that changeling, and so it automatically reverts to its natural state?
Yeah, this is going to be one of those like primer arguments if we get into it too deep. So maybe we shouldn't.
I mean, X-Files solved this question. You don't become
don't, you're right.
uninvisible. There, it's right there in canon.
Yeah.
Sorry.
If a genie lets you turn invisible, you don't change back.
Yes.
Yeah.
For reasons.
I don't know what kind of sandwich I would be.
Burrito.
I'd probably just
Yeah,
say
I
flight
mean-
Just write down
sandwich.
burrito or hot dog. Something really combative.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Not a team player.
challenge their ideas on what really constitutes a sandwich.
Steak sandwich.
I think I went with
Shawarma.
I think I went with peanut butter and onion because it was the weirdest thing I could think of at the time.
It's good.
Which isn't true. That's not like what I would really want to go with.
I've
but
had those recently, and they're not bad.
they're all right. You get like the really thick onion.
Yeah,
Slice, yeah.
big crunch.
Yeah.
That's right, Beach. Raw onions.
Processing that whole thing.
In peanut butter.
Sugary raw onions.
I took home some salad last night that had raw onions in it, but they'd been soaking in like a whole bunch of other stuff, and I'm like, I don't think that makes them raw anymore. And I tasted them, I'm like, oh, they don't. They taste
They're
like
still,
other things.
They're still maybe rawed. I feel like maybe I guess unless they've somehow pickled, and pickled onions are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Prairie folk.
I wonder if pickled onions would go good in an onion and peanut butter sandwich.
I don't know, but they go really good on like a ham sandwich.
Well, like
Yeah,
pickles
sure.
go with peanut butter.
Yep.
You know, I've never tried that, but I have heard that combo.
Have you ever had ham flakes?
What are ham flakes?
You know how you can get like
We're down the line for this, folks. I don't give a shit about Pate anymore. I gotta learn what ham flakes are.
well, it's like a little can. It's ham flakes in a can.
Wait, flaked ham or
Yes,
ham?
flaked-
Okay, flaked ham.
Are you
Okay.
ham flakes? Bacon bits?
I was like Kellogg's ham flakes. Like,
It's like tuna, but ham flakes.
Okay,
And you just
alright.
sprinkle it on things.
And then you mix that with the onion and the pickle stuff, a lot like you would with a tuna sandwich, and it's so
You know
good.
what? That sounds really good.
It's really good.
that's halfway to potato salad right there.
No,
Like, yeah.
don't ruin this for me. Don't ruin
What
this
is
with
he
me with
put
your
in
garbage
potato
food.
I'm just
salad?
saying, if you take the potatoes and the
No.
mayonnaise out of it,
No.
what's left is still really good, right?
Potatoes are a dirt vegetable.
Well, literally, it's where
Okay,
they come
do you just
from.
not like anything that comes up from the ground? Like, what are your feelings on peanuts?
These are fine.
Okay.
Potatoes are just, they're only good as fries.
They have a value, ladies and gentlemen. They're
Like,
allowed to
you
be
keep
fries.
trying to put them all in the curry.
You like croquettes.
Yeah, that's different. They're fried again.
Yeah, just got you there.
Yeah, if I deep fried an 8-ball, you would be very pleased with that, I'm sure.
Think of cocaine.
First one's free. I'd like to go down to the county fair.
You said you deep fry anything. Here's a kilo.
You know,
There's a key. You can hear the sirens in the background. It's like, hurry.
I already did one stream where I decided to go combative against chat and hate everything that they like. Don't make me bring that version of Heather back.
I mean, someone in my chat told me that they had a friend or knew a guy who went to one of those places in Scotland that will deep fry anything.
Yeah.
And had his dissertation deep fried.
Ooh.
Very good.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just getting a crap shot down.
Yeah, that was my immediate thought too.
Yeah.
Good on you, Beej.
I also like hash browns, in case you're wondering. Yes, deep fried potatoes are delicious. Goodness. I don't want them in the curry,
I
though.
really like Barbie's Pump Jack.
In that film.
Thank you for that. that was like late on Cinemax, right? Oh God.
In Technicolor. We're all gonna see that movie, right?
In
In
Technicolor?
Technicolor?
Barbie.
I mean,
The
Yeah,
one
if it's a thing.
that Ryan Gosling is in?
Yes.
Okay,
And
I thought
Margot-
that was just a weird meme that was going around the internet. I didn't realize it was a real movie.
Yeah, those are shots people have taken from filming.
Oh. I mean, I'd go watch almost anything with you, Corey.
Oh.
And I state the almost anything because I don't need you to have that much power. I trust you. So don't abuse it.
Boop, boop, boop. More watery. Yes.
Thinner,
Thinner.
lighter,
Faster?
less substance.
More
Need it
chocolate.
to drip down in a space that I can't reach.
Yeah, what's with the 3D objects having the hard to reach spaces?
Just seeing people say that they would maybe get their degree deep fried, and I'm like, dude, I just want it to look like it came from an actual university. And not in goddamn Times New Roman.
Beach has many opinions about what his degree looks like.
Oh, am I mad? When I was at U of A, and the Gateway published a thing like every year. It seems like they published a thing, but somebody graduating would be like, "Yo, what the hell is this bullshit?" And they would show a picture of their degree. They're like, "What? Why does it look like it's we're one of the oldest universities in Canada? Why did we settle on this dreck?" Why is it, I can go to like Dalhousie, I can go to McGill, I can get beautiful degrees from there. Look at what other ones look like, right? And I was like, oh, maybe that's just what
Degree envy.
it's what department you're in or something like that, right? And then we get ours, I get mine, and I'm like, holy shit, yeah, they're all like this. They're all terrible. They're all terrible. They're not even that like my dad has a degree from the 1960s from Simon Fraser, and it's very modernist. And it's very pretty and stately, and I'm like, this is a good looking degree. It's like, yes, this came from Simon Fraser University, and it's bachelor's of arts in finance, and I was like, yeah, okay.
All right, forget the sandwich question. When you go for a job interview and they see that you have a degree, they want to know what it looks like,
Yep.
and they're going to hire you based on how nice your degree actually looks
Exactly.
from the school that you're in.
Well, I mean, like, I don't think it's unreasonable to expect something you spent tens of thousands of dollars on doesn't look like it came from a cereal box.
Yeah.
I went to Staples and made this myself.
Oh, it's not even. There's no like. They didn't print like a color logo on it. It's got like a foil stamp, but it might as well just say foil in the middle of it for all I give a shit. Like,
Right,
it's like,
yeah.
It doesn't look. It just did not do anything to it to kind of make it.
Yeah, well, like my dad says his law degree from UBC looks like it was run off a Gestetner,
Jesus.
right? Like,
The paper's nice. That's the only thing I can say. The paper was nice quality. I was like, great.
Good weight.
From what I remember,
finish.
yeah. I touched it briefly, and then it was like goes back in the folder, and then my mom got it framed, and I'm like, good, that'll live in a box.
much like me with my degree.
Yeah,
I'll live
I'm
in the
pretty sure
box with
mine's in
my
the
degree
box.
too.
Oh, that's a good point. Arclight just said, my sister just got a new job and they actually wanted a photo of her degree. And I'm like, sure. But that means that if I took a photo of my degree, they'd be like, nah, man. You can do better than that. Like, you're applying for a graphic design position. You can do better than that degree.
Wow.
If you're going to fake something, at least show your skill.
I mean, maybe that's why they make it look that way. No one would fake a degree that badly, right?
I hope so.
I would.
Hey, dude. You don't have to yell. Everyone can hear you.
Guess it's time to go back to school.
Ask for a new one. Clearly they can reprint them.
Just get a reprint, maybe. Spend $200 on a reprint.
I mean, you could proxy it.
But make sure you put it in his sleeve so nobody can tell.
Is the frame at least nice?
The frames are $145.
So,
So no, they're not nice. They're not nice enough to deserve it.
Look, the university has to make money somewhere, Beach.
Oh, I thought they did that on textbooks. Oh wait, that's the profs. Sorry. Sigh.
I don't think the profs get a cut unless they wrote the book that they assigned.
Pretty much every one of my profs wrote the textbooks they assigned.
Business, business, business.
Yep.
I mean, my profs also wrote the textbooks they assigned, but then they gave them to us for free.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, they're on the website. That's weird.
My profs all had like binders and PDFs and stuff.
Yeah.
At least the comp sci ones. The other ones I had to buy.
Nobody is going to write a textbook on fourth year, like hyper-specific material for this class. So the text for this will be my course notes and whatever papers I think are interesting today.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, we
Yeah.
did have a series of textbooks. And one communication teacher who, the books came with like a digital, like worksheets that like once you put in the code that no one else could.
Oh, so you couldn't actually get used textbooks?
Yeah, and so she was just like, "Fuck that! No, buy a used book, and don't worry about that. We're not."
Yeah, because you have some real standards for some of your textbooks too, right? Like Nine Heads and stuff was like, that's a book that gets used in a lot of different
Yeah, I
places.
mean, Nine Heads was something you could actually is one of those books that no one sold used unless they were never going to do any drawing
Right.
ever again. Like there were certain textbooks in my program that if people were selling them used, they never intended to go anywhere else in what they just did.
Yeah.
And I can't say I blame them. But the library also did have copies of them if people really needed to like borrow.
Alright. I think I'm gonna put everything down here. We've got like less than 5 minutes left on the stream. So I want
Brush
the
this
stuff
down.
to dry a bit before we shove it in a corner.
That's fair. Just gonna finish this part here.
Actually, Beach, I'll tell you why I know it's called ham flakes.
Yeah?
Because whenever we're in the kitchen, we're just like making Tezuka jokes. We're just like, and here's our friend ham flakes.
A you idiom.
Yeah, instead of ham egg. And we make our own Tezuka names.
Yes! And they're fine.
They're fine. Why is his name acetylene lamp? Well, it's because his head has a notch in the back that looks like you could put a candle there. Tezuka!
think I've had a stroke.
Yeah, we also have like 8 cans of canned crab because it's just not very good.
Why you so much of it then?
Well,
Costco?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. I guess.
If you don't like the taste, put it in the fridge until it gets cold. Then it'll be easier to eat. You won't taste it as much.
That doesn't necessarily work for everything, Beach.
No.
I've
Make crab rangoon.
Mother. Mother, I desire crab rangoon.
Ian has made crab rangoon and did that the entire time. That's why he bought the crab. He wanted that and also for onigiris and like homemade
yeah,
sushi
yeah, I
stuff.
could see that,
Yeah,
yeah.
But he did. It's just like he's thinking we need better crab for our rangoon.
Isn't crab rangoon just like crab puffs? It's crab
Yeah.
and cream cheese and a
A little tortellini, yeah.
Yeah,
Or like a little.
Wonton.
yeah,
Yeah.
wonton.
Yeah. Pastry. It's
Yeah. Anyways, I think we're good here. We're good. Are we here? Are we? We're good.
Are we?
Are we? Thank you all for stopping by today for this episode of Tinker Tailor Solder Fry. Everything we do here on Loading Ready Run is brought to you by you. It's your fault. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure. Let's lay all the blame on everything we did to
Thank you
them.
for giving us money on our Patreon, and thank you for giving us money on Twitch and YouTube.
You didn't stop this.
Thanks, YouTube. Goodbye.